Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight. Welcome back to another episode of Curse of the Dead Gods. As we come in today, I think I'm going to swap things out here. What do I want to do? I could take this, which would give us just more options to get good stuff, but I feel like, yeah, gear found in chests or dropped by enemies has a high chance of being higher quality. This also means that I wonder if there's ever going to be like some kind of like special effect if you choose like all green or all red or all blue. Maybe it'll make like the serpent room or the serpent rooms harder or something because you've like collected so much or you've concentrated so much serpent essence. You know what? I could actually get all 3 stat upgrades. Whether I want to do that or not is of course another question, but time will tell. Anyway, yeah. But, I mean, I like having the extra damage, the higher a combo goes. Excuse me. But I am curious if, you know, if I change things up. Okay, that's actually potentially really good. I could have taken them out. I just chose not to. And sometimes it's better not to take the risk. Other times it is better to be risky. Okay, a hammer in the first room. I should try to make this a heavy weapon run. I also hope at some point in the future that there is a hammer type boss weapon. I mean, we only have 2 right now, and we're obviously going to get more in the future as more bosses are added. I mean, there's probably going to be like a boss bow, a boss hammer, a boss mace. Well, there's a boss sword thingy from, I think if I can only choose one, I don't have to only choose one, but I think I will just choose one. It's going to be dexterity, because of course, as always, I like to maximize my damage. Feel that is generally the most important thing, because as always, if you don't get hit in the first place, you don't need more health, you don't need more safeguard things. Oh yeah, I should probably fight this one a little. Actually, you know, the way this is all set up, it looks like, okay, I mean, I guess he got tired of life. Yeah, these should all be opened without any real Alright, well that's pretty good and synergizes perfectly with the build we've been running these past few runs. So, you know, that's good. I do like that there's a lot of good synergies, like we've got the various more gold you have kind of things, and then that synergizes nicely with these various relics we have. And the thing I'm slowly learning as I kind of like make little incremental changes to the build we have is that, yeah, there's actually like a lot of good blessings. Like an issue that I found in, you know, one of my other favorite roguelike type games, Dead Cells, is with the mutations. Like, there's a lot of options for mutations, but I feel that only a couple of them are actually worth your time because, well, I guess there's just some that feel like they're always going to be useful. This also is, you know what, I'm actually going to buy this right now. I'm going to be, just throwing the money out here, because that, of course, makes this build a lot less stressful. We can take our time. But anyway, with mutations in Dead Cells, I found there's a couple of them that are really good, and a lot of them that are kind of meh, at least in my opinion. And, well, yeah. I also think that, I think it's an unmentioned perk of the, like, having a like higher quality drops is that it also makes drops more likely to happen in the first place. I think. I might be wrong about that, but I mean, as I stammer and stutter here. I don't know. Like, this is purely anecdotal, I guess, based on how this very particular run is shaping up thus far. It also occurs to me, if I used my hammer, I could have just stun locked them forever. Or I could do this. Which, you know, that's something to keep in mind, is with the hammer. I think the risk is, like, when it comes to stun locking enemies with the hammer, because there's always a risk and reward, it seems, with all of these weapons so far. And I think that's actually probably why right now, at this point, like for me in Dead Cells, again, you know, comparing it, because it is one of my favorite roguelikes, I feel like Dead Cells, it does have like a lot of weapons, but a fair few of them feel kind of meh. Whereas here, there's honestly very few, relatively speaking, weapons. But there's different variations of those, like the same basic archetype, you know, where we've got like several different types of mace, several different types of spear that effectively, like, they all have the same animation set and everything, but the abilities attached to them are what vary. And in some ways, like, I think that probably makes it easier to balance, because, you know, you have fewer types of weapon, so you have, like, fewer animations you have to make, which means, like, you don't have to balance, like, animation speed or whatever. Because I assume, you know, as someone who has never developed a game like this before, or, well, I've never really developed a game before at all, but as I've said before, I like tinkering in game design and stuff like that. And probably it's more so the design aspect that I tend to focus on than, like, actually, you know, making a game. What I clearly need to do is I need to pair myself with people who are actually good at the development portion of things, and then, you know, I could be the designer. But then again, everyone wants to be the designer, because it, you know, in theory means that you don't have to do any actual work. You're just, you're the ideas guy. But, you know, I mean, I feel like I'm being hard on that particular, like, role of, like, being the designer or the ideas guy type person, because it's anything that's to do with myself, I tend to, like, undervalue it. Like, if it, like, I don't know, like, if I was a doctor, then I'd be like, oh, well, you know, doctors, they don't know that much. But because I'm not a doctor, I'm like, hey, you know, doctors, you should listen to them. And you should actually listen to doctors. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. I tend to be, whether I intend to or not, very self-deprecating, and sometimes I think I probably take it a little too far. But then again, if I bring myself down before anyone else can, then no one can bring me down, because I'm already down. That's also a very terrible way to do things, by the way, so don't do that. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about, like, well, I kind of got off on a tangent. I was talking about, you know, like, balancing things, and how, one of the things I like about Curse of the Dead Gods at the moment is that, from, like, at least from a user end, like me as a player, I feel that there's definitely still, you know, some weapons that are definitely better than others. Like, for instance, you'll notice I never use the bow, even though it has been buffed at least once, and it might get buffed again. Actually, if I, again, go back to the old well of Dead Cells comparisons, shields in Dead Cells had to, or they needed several update passes before they actually became, like, widely considered to be useful. And in fact, there are some people who would go so far as to say that in Dead Cells, shields are indispensable at this point. I'm not sure if I agree with that sentiment. You know what, why not? We'll take some poison claws. But I also do feel that once shields did get buffed, a lot of the later bosses were developed with heavy shield use in mind, which was not great for me, because I had, from the early days of Dead Cells, kind of develop the mindset in my head that, oh, shields are useless and I will never use them nor need to use them. And then, you know, now that they are extremely useful, especially against bosses, but, you know, that's the problem in life is that, oh god, what was I thinking? If you refuse to adapt to changing circumstances, then frankly you deserve what you get. Take note, fossil fuel industry. I could probably get even more political than that, as I sometimes do on this channel. But, I mean, it wasn't that many episodes ago where I started talking about, you know, like, oh, it was only like 3 or 4 episodes ago where I basically dedicated an entire episode to, like, vaguely kind of, but not really, talking about some, well, actually, I guess kind of really, but then, like, refusing to actually have the spine to go in and make real-world examples out of fear of offending anyone. You know, talking about stuff in the real world. Actually, also interestingly enough, as it turns out, I was mistaken. YouTube does not, strictly speaking, demonetize you just for talking about real-world stuff. And I know this because I recently apparently qualified to, like, self-rate my own content, because I guess YouTube trusts me to not be, like, spewing a bunch of racist and bigoted and hateful and, like, promoting terrorism kind of content or whatever. I mean, I guess, like, just maybe going straight to saying, oh yeah, YouTube totally doesn't think I'm gonna promote terrorism. That's maybe a little extreme. I guess what I mean to say is YouTube, for whatever reason, its algorithms have determined that I am apparently capable of rating my own content. Which doesn't strictly mean that, you know, I have free reign now to claim, you know, whatever with my content, but it does mean, I guess, that I've been... It's always nice to be entrusted with a little, oh, kill him quick! With a little responsibility. Even if it's because, you know, some algorithm somewhere is like, oh, this channel's big enough that we can totally let him, you know, rate his own content, and we'll at some point get around to fact-checking to make sure he's not abusing the system by saying that he's got, you know, family-friendly content, or not family-friendly, but ad-suitable content when, you know, he's like, I don't know, like, have like a web camera of like a naked woman doing sexual acts or something, you know. That would, I mean, I don't know why anyone would do that in the first, well, I think we know reasons why people might do something like that, but, you know, if you want to do something like that, there's other, you know, other websites. You don't, that's probably, you know, not, YouTube's probably not the site to do that for, but, you know, if that is your thing, the internet is a large place, and as long as it's consensual, then, well, I guess more power to you. But anyway, getting back to, before going off on all these side tangents, I guess, apparently, talking about topical real-world stuff is acceptable, presumably within limits. But, you know, like, it's, yeah. But then again, I guess that kind of goes without, I should keep the critical damage. Probably keep that. I don't need this right now, but I might need it later. Ah, it's so hard. What, if anything, do I change? Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll just go back to talking about, the game rather than going off on side tangents about YouTube and content ratings and advertiser-friendly stuff and so on and so forth. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the important thing is that I don't really need to light that up, do I? We're all in this together. And beyond that, we're all just here trying to have a good time, so I should do my best to facilitate that, shouldn't I? What? What should I change if... I mean, I don't need it now, because I'm playing well, but I might need it in the future, because I might end up taking a bunch of damage. So This right here is probably a mistake. It's gonna come right out and admit that. But it is a mistake I am willing to make at this particular point in time. And also, this is a weapon room coming up, isn't it? So... Okay, you're dead. You just haven't figured it out yet. Same goes with you. Alright. Let's focus on, where possible, eliminating the real threats. In this case, large man is definitely a real threat. You are... In the past, you used to be the... Oh god, I hear a large man. Okay, you're dead, you just haven't figured it out yet. Okay, same with you. So we can now safely wander away. I rolled. I totally rolled. But evidently, my reaction times were slower than I thought. And he is also dead, so I can just run away now. You are apparently not actually dead. Okay, that's mildly disappointing, but life goes on. Well, I am tempted. That is also good, quite frankly. And it does 10% more damage if our main weapon is a claw. So, you know what? This could be fun. This could lead to some interesting scenarios here. I also wonder, now that I think about it, if the offhand combo... You know, let's test this out right now. Like, if I go like this... Oh, wait. I'm gonna have to... Let's burn as much of our stamina as possible. Oop. Hang on a second. Oh, right. I have to actually evade an attack, so I can't test it. But what I was trying to test was if that worked both ways. Like, if I did this, then this, or this, then this. Well, actually, I guess it would be this. Yeah, claw, then dagger. Because claw, then dagger is what causes me to bounce backwards. It also occurs to me, looking at that, I am probably never going to successfully pull that off. But then again, you know what? Never say never. Because the moment... Oh no. Oh no. My most hated curse of them all. Rhythmic spiking. Oh yeah, I do more damage in the dark anyway, so... Alrighty then. No, 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 no. Alright, you're already dead. Alright, and just to finish you a little faster so we can get our gold all the sooner. Always a good thing. We've got some more money, that means more damage. Once this doubles, we should basically be in a perfect situation. Now, what would I like right now with this particular build? I'm thinking to myself that ideally what I want is some kind of, well, some kind of healing would be nice, quite frankly. I mean, some kind of healing is always nice. Because it's always good to feel safe. That doesn't really play with our present build, does it? I mean, we have 40... Yeah, it's 45% damage, or 30% to poison, 45 to darkness, and if we pull off a critical hit, then it does 45% more damage. Which means, if I had a poisoned spear, and we were fighting in the dark, then we would be in the perfect position to do ungodly amounts of damage. And that makes me happy. Alright. Oop. Oh, that worked out nicely. There we go. I mean, I probably could have dodged that with, but I feel like, the offhand dodge Really gotta time that carefully, now that I think about it, because, like, it's fast, don't get me wrong, but I am finding myself wondering, like, would I actually even have the reaction time to pull that off? Because I'd have to be, whoa, attacking with the claw, then while I'm attacking with the claw, see what's about to happen, and then hit the dagger, which doesn't attack before I dodge backwards. And, to be honest with you, I do find myself questioning if I actually have what it takes to be able to do anything meaningful with that particular, but then again, I'm pretty sure I've done it before, so it can be done. You just have to believe in yourself a little bit. But then again, that kind of goes with a lot of things in life, doesn't it? If you don't give yourself a chance, then you've already lost. Which, you know, I try to say uplifting, motivational stuff like this frequently. Not just for the benefit of you, dear viewer, but also, I guess, for myself. It's kind of selfish in a way. This thought process that if I can convince myself, then I can also convince others. And if I can convince others, then, I don't know, makes me a better person or something. I don't know. Make of it what you will, I suppose, is the important thing in that. Now, quick, yeah, the way I normally do this could be my last chance to acquire a weapon of my choosing. So, let's see here. Burning enemies, offhand combos deal critical damage. Now that I'm sure I can do reliably, but then again, it does do less damage. We'd be doing much more if we had more perception. Let's see. Alright, I mean, it's a stronger weapon. We have a fair amount of dexterity so far. This does more damage in the dark. But, you know what? I think this is the weapon I'm gonna go for. I could corrupt myself in order to take it, but nah. We're making a reasonable amount of money. What was the ability on this thing? It had no special abilities whatsoever. That's useful to know. Alrighty then. So, this is going to be an interesting fight, because I've been using the claws almost exclusively thus far, but for the boss fights I normally like to use my secondary weapon. Oop. Alright, I'm just gonna kinda let you go, I think. Because sometimes that's what you gotta do in life, is just let it go. Oop. Alright, back into the oven again for another round. Okay, we've got a large man up ahead. There we are. That's the smart thing. You gotta roll behind him. And also, gimme gold. I mean, I think, all told, we're in a pretty nice position to acquire a whole lot of money. Alright. Oh, that worked out. A lot better than I expected. And the fact that I'm at a point where the amount of damage I am doing. +1 on our two-handed weapon. That's pretty nice. Reduces corruption. I mean, honestly, I like the build we have already. I suppose I could try to get another, you know, the more gold we have, the more damage we do. Relic. Or emblem thing. But, I don't think we need to do that. I'm also going to switch out to the hammer. Now, what was special about the hammer again? Right, it heals us when we kill enemies with it. You know, if I had one more stamina, then every second attack would, or second finisher would be doing critical damage. Alright. As long as I don't get hit, I should have parried that. I mean, the amount of extra damage we would have done would have been a wonder to behold. Okay, swing, swing, and then now it's my turn. I don't get guaranteed criticals. It's only on the finisher, so that does kind of sting a little bit. All right. Oh shoot. No, 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 no. Yes, but also no. Wish I'd kept that combo alive, because we would have got more money from winning. I got 375 gold from that. That would have been 3,750, or at least close to it, if we had kept the combo alive. Now, why'd you gotta go and do something like that to me, game? Giving me this, I mean, it does less damage, but I mean, it heals me when I kill enemies. It's like you're just toying with me, making me go back to my old ways. I should resist the siren call, shouldn't I? I mean, the only difference is the corruption. Ah, what the heck. Alright, I'm gonna go with the hammer. Because, dang it, I don't want to be a one-trick pony. This gaslight has variety, is dynamic. Yeah. And also possibly... oh no. Oh no. Though, on the flip side, that does actually... that does have... oh yeah. The bit to be careful about here... oh my god, I actually managed to parry the Jaguar. Gaming by Gaslight, you sexy devil, you. I mean, and all I had to do was pay a little bit of attention to who I was attacking and when. You know, it's amazing what a change in perspective can do for you. I like that. That's good. Alright, so hop, 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 hop. How far do those spikes go? I have to say, I can't, strictly speaking, say I like some of the layouts of these spikes, but they're not terrible. Alright, so this is my last chance to... well, if I go the route that we're all expecting me to go anyway, it's my last chance to get a relic. So, and since I am pretty confident with the weapons we have... okay, that's nice, but not terribly useful right now. Even more poison damage. And also dexterity. More stamina. I was just talking about how more stamina would be nice. But then again, more poison damage is more poison... it's 15% more poison damage plus the dexterity. Or, I mean, I could get rid of something else I have. Alright, so let's logic this one out here. If I decide to go into the final boss focusing on using specifically the claws, I haven't yet figured out what would guarantee a critical hit from the claws. I'm pretty sure you get a critical hit on every finisher, but I'm not 100% certain I'm right in that. But I guess the point I'm getting at is, with this build, I mean, if I'd stuck with the spear, then I'd be crazy to get rid of this relic. But because we might focus on poison, stacking 30% poison damage with 45% poison damage, or poison attacks, might be the way to go. Plus, we get the dexterity. So I'm going to do it, and we're going to see what happens. I mean... I guess if I was going to do this, I probably should have looked for, like, we only do 18 damage with the claws, but then again, we get the The extra damage. Let's see how we do here exactly. I think the answer here is that, yeah, this is probably okay. Okay, well done. Alright, I'm gonna... I mean, actually, it kind of seems like no matter what way I go, I'm doing mostly alright. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it did seem like with the champ or the elite enemies there, we had a bit more risk, and trying to go for this poison build against the boss might explode in my face. Yeah, maybe sticking with the hammer. And maybe the hammer would have been the smart play. I mean, at least until I heal myself. The poison, I want to do it just for the sake of, you know, trying something different. A little novel approach. It also occurs to me, I mean, if I do go the right-hand path, when we get to that gold room, we could have 2 opportunities for more weapons. Maybe I should have re-rolled a few more times, since most of my choices, if I focus strictly on getting more stats, though I feel at the same time, now that I think on it, I probably have enough stats. You know what, also, let's start focusing on just hoarding our gold. Because a few more curses, that's probably nothing to worry about. Probably. It might be something to worry about, but, you know, that'll be future Gaslight's problem. Present Gaslight says, screw you, future Gaslight. Yeah, that, I think that says everything that really needs to be said right there about, the power of this particular build. Alright, I'm gonna make a run for it now, because I believe in, you know, setting up my battles, and my battle needed a little bit of setup there. Hello, friend. Goodbye, friend. Though maybe I should have been a bit more careful there, because we were at the very edge of that hammer's range, as far as I can tell. And if I had missed, that would have left us open if he decided to attack back. Which is always, of course, the balancing game when it comes to these sorts of things, isn't it? I am also feeling self-conscious of the... You know what, I'm gonna get rid of these statues over here. Then, we're gonna have a little bit of fun, lighting stuff on fire and watching the chain explosion. I lost a bit of gold there. Watching the chain explosions that I did not, despite my best intentions, end up, you know, putting myself in a good position to win. And by win, I mean not get hit. Oh well. I mean, I guess the bonus of, or the upside to our present circumstances is, you know, the fact that we do take 25% less damage. Though that's not as good as if we had the emblem that limited the amount of single hit damage to 10% of our max health. Because then we could take approximately 20 hits before dying. You know, from full health to the end. I mean, I think the fact that I can one hit most of these enemies says a lot about, you know, where we are right now in our lives. Yeah. I mean, my goodness, though, this hammer is quite impressive, isn't it? And the only thing I had to do was learn how to kind of set up my battles. I'm kind of getting the impression I'm moving away from my initial poison plan, so I do now feel kind of silly for getting rid of that extra critical damage when I could have just replaced the poison damage. But sometimes you have a plan and then you change it, and that's all you can do. So, yeah. I mean, I don't regret it. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of do, because now I have a suboptimal build, but that's life, isn't it? Sometimes you plan for one thing, but then the circumstances change and you realize, do I want to blow these up before I start the fight just to be safe? I'm going to blow this one up because I feel it's too close to where I'm most likely going to end up swinging. And I would rather minimize my risk. I'm really glad that didn't hit me. Get him busy on that. Oh god. Where the hell is everyone? Okay, well, now our greatest strength, which is attacking in the dark, is also now our greatest weakness. So, yay us. Also, that room would have been much better if I had more perception. Alright, at 44 dexterity, another 5 is probably not going to be the biggest deal. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the relic room after this. But I chose this room so that if I change my mind at the last minute there, you know, I can still... Oh, shoot. I can still change my mind and come back later. You... Yeah, we're gonna have some problems here, I think. But they will be problems entirely of my own making. There is some temptation in that. In fact, gonna do this little swap here. Just gotta remember to come back for this, because that 5 dexterity... I was just saying how, oh, you know, a couple more dexterity is not gonna, you know, be the be-all, end-all. But at the same time, it will... A little bit of extra gold can make a difference. So I shouldn't completely rule it out. Alright, you. Come on over. Because, again, you know, every 1,000 gold we get does a little more damage for us. Pretty sure this guy is the guy we want to get rid of first. Beautiful. And in fact, to a certain degree, I may have even wanted to, there's some things I may have wanted to change out about this build sooner. But having said that, we've made our bed, and frankly, Oh, dang. You know what? Probably should have held on to the gold a little while longer for that. Oh well. Gotta be able to be loose, ready to change on the fly. And you know what? We've got 6 rerolls. I should totally make sure I use them. Because if there's one thing that comes up in the comments, and also that I, you know, even outside of the comments, I do recognize this. I recognize it, don't worry, is that I criminally... Oh dear. That was stupid. Admittingly, but, oh yeah, that's right. Oh god. Yeah, that's something... Like, hang on a second here. I need to look at this curse. Regular enemies are concealed. Concealed... Yeah, it's not explained in that tooltip, but as we can clearly see, when the enemies go invisible, we can't hit them. So, we gotta be prepared for that. Minor irritation, in my opinion. There is something else in this room, isn't there? Oh, there's not. Shocking. Perfection. Alright, so, you know, we've still got a nice amount of gold, and we're gonna pick up another curse in a second here, which doesn't exactly make me happy, but fortunately, with all the curses we have, and this is something I do really like about the game, and its design, is that a lot of the most potentially punishing curses don't actually end up applying during the boss fight. Which is nice, because, you know, like, if the boss could go invisible, which, now that I think about it, there's totally, because serpents, poison, trickery, subterfuge, whatever word it is I'm trying to say there. Let's see here. I mean, it feels like I have to get rid of my dexterity if I want to stack this and this 6% thing. And I feel... I mean, I can only buy one relic anyway, so... If I can only buy one relic, I might as well make it one that's going to let me do more damage. And by buy, I mean spend corruption in order to pick it up, because... Yeah. I want to make sure... While this one is already at its, like, max potential, the other one would have lost potential if we had spent gold on that, so obviously it wouldn't have made sense to do that, in my personal opinion. Of course, then again, I could just get rid of the other poison relic, because it's pretty obvious at this point I'm not going to use it. But that's right, it gives us that. Well... Here we go. We're at full health. We're pretty strong. We're pretty healthy. We're also very, very rich, and we'll hopefully continue to get more rich. So time can tell on that one. Actually, am I in the light with this guy? The answer is no. I am not. All right. I was only a little curious. Shoot. Now there goes my combo damage. Alright. Gotta pick my moments carefully with this guy. Yeah, because of stuff like that. Gotta be careful. Perfection. I mean, I would have liked to have a bit more stamina, but... Ooh, boy. But we still get at least a free hit combo in there. Oh, come on. I totally hit parry, by the way, but my timing was evidently off. There's a part of me that wonders if I can parry those, but I don't really want to risk it. So I won't, and instead I'll just go this way. Okay, and... Oh, come on, dude. I mean, we're trading blows. But I'm pretty sure that this is a fairly one-sided fight. As long as I, you know, don't get too big for my proverbial britches here. Ah, come on. Okay, yeah, that was a example of that very thing that I was just talking about. Oh god. That would have done me. Alright, now's my chance. Oh, come on. You know, I sometimes get the impression that this jerk face actually gets more and more immune to getting stunned as the fight goes on. Having said that, finish him! And we're done. So until the next time, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button, or maybe leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking, and I will see all you in the next video.